Okay, awesome. Okay, so what do we want to talk about today? I've got things pulled up on the computer to help with whatever. So what questions do we have about business building or compensation or back office? Does anybody have a place they'd like to start?
The link, it's not working from this email that I
have. The link.
Okay, so how do I go out of this? Oh, I can find it.
You want the...
Find it here. It is...
You want to invite him from the participants page?
It is.
I'm going to rename me so that people know that I'm actually Maria, not Gwen. Do you know how to invite, Ron, do you know how to invite from the participants page?
Oh, I didn't know I was still on. I didn't know you were talking to me. So participants, go to what?
So if you go at the bottom left, it says invite.
Bottom left, invite, okay.
And then you can just decide, you can copy the link. Doesn't allow you, I mean, on your phone, you can text it, but you can at least email it to them.
Okay, link copied. All right, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a little fun. If somebody can't get on to a Zoom call that you're on, you can always go down to that invite area. Okay, so what are people struggling with the most? Okay, so let's do this. Would you like a tour through ATP 123? Would that be helpful?
He's there.
Or anybody's welcome to unmute if you want to unmute and just ask a question.
I have a nightmare.
You have a nightmare. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Maria. I finally got my laptop working and now you can see me. I'm not just a name on the screen.
Yay.
May look a little scary tonight, but
no,
I would like to. Can I just blurt out a little bit and you and I may want to talk later privately and I'll pay you? I'm serious. I live in Manitou. I'll come up to Greeley. I know where Greeley is.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us what you need. Maybe we can all help.
All right. Because I'm working on my notes so I can share the whole details. So this is the story. Early on, when I got involved with Healy, it was like last April, May.
Okay.
My upline support, no name calling. I'm not going to name him in the problem, but he stepped out. So he was non-existent. And so at that time, I didn't know you and Gwen. You know, I've taken both of your workshops, loved them. But what happened with me is I wanted to get into the fast start because I practiced and I just felt in my heart after hearing Marcus speak about his vision to help many people around the planet with microcurrent devices. I thought, okay, I'm going to buy extra ones because I want to share them with my clients, my friends. And so I was one of those people when I bought my first unit, I decided I have two sons. So I bought a unit for one son, a unit for my other son. And then I got into the fast start.
Right.
Okay. So what I have right now is my free unit is still in a box in my closet because I just didn't want to mess around with too many master keys. And I don't even know if that's a residence or if it's a holistic health, which is, early on when I was buying my unit. So what happened with me that really kind of frustrated me early on is when I started receiving the units, the first 2-3 units, I kept thinking they were a resonance. I kept trying to download the Blue app and I could never get it activated. Well, lo and behold, although I bought these machines in May, I never got my resonant machine till July. Okay. So when I got it to work, great. And during that early time when I didn't really have much support, I thought, okay, I'm blessed to even have a machine. Remember all the frustration that was going on at that time? I
Yep.
thought, I'm not going to worry about it. Support tickets, I'm not getting answered. So what I'm going to do is just use it on myself. Use clients, just use the Pink app and just use it. Because wasn't really ready to teach other people all about it until I had an opportunity to use it on myself.
Right.
Right. So sorry, this is a long story, but this is the struggle that I'm having right now. Is I know that my two sons' units, because they're not selling them and so forth, I want to get them all under my own wing. So
Okay.
I'm probably going to have to get their email addresses moved over to mine. And-
No. Oh,
No.
there's a different way to do that, but go on, keep going.
Okay. And I also feel that, oh, and during the last sale, okay, that we had in November, whenever that was, one of my holistic health, I did upgrade it to a resonance at that time.
Okay.
But because of my fear of too many master keys,
Mm-hmm.
I've not downloaded the Blue app on any of my devices.
So you're not running the resonance at all on any
I
of your
am.
devices?
I totally am. I have, and I have a tablet, and
Okay.
I have on this tablet is my resonance. Okay.
Okay.
I use this for me exclusively.
Okay.
I have a couple of my Healys downloaded on my phone, but I just, as we've talked about it before, it gets too complicated.
Right. So is there a reason why you would want to use the Blue app for anything else or anyone else at the moment?
Well,
If
what I also did, okay, at Christmas time during our, Black Friday, I decided to buy another tablet. Okay. And I haven't set that up at all, but my vision was I would set that new tablet up with the resonance on that, because I would have the opportunity to share that with friends or clients so they would have a resonant device
Right.
on a tablet. Right.
Okay.
So again, I still don't know what is in the box in my closet, my free machine. I'm not sure if that would be just a holistic health, or because when I did my original purchase, see how long this story is.
Well, tell me what, for the sake of that, because I have a hard stop at 5:30. So
Okay.
for the sake of time,
Yes.
what do you feel like you need? What can we help you with? I mean, what do you feel like your next step is?
Well,
Do you have
honestly,
people that would want to use the Healy that you could loan it out to?
yes, I have 2 clients right now that would like one.
Okay. And you have how many in your possession?
I have 4. I have a resonance that I use on my tablet. I have a resonance upgrade that I could put on one of my holistic healths.
Okay.
And then I have 2 holistic healths.
Okay. So let me tell you what Steve and I do. We each have a resonance and we use them on ourselves. And then we have 5 devices that we loan out. We only loan it out using the Pink app.
Okay.
I don't ever send anybody out the door with a Blue app. That takes, the learning curve for that is extreme because there's so many possibilities. And so I always send people out downloading the Pink app to their phone, scanning the QR code on the back, connecting to the cloud, and then I show them how to do it, send them out the door, or I ship it to another state. And when they get it, we get on the phone. I walk them through the download of the Pink Dot app. I walk them through the scanning the QR code on the back, making sure they know how to run it. I always send a program guide with it so they can look at all the programs. And then I just let them experience it for a long weekend or a week. And that is what we've been doing and procuring a lot of sales by doing that, because we have about an 85 to 90% buy rate. People, I've got one that's coming back. She's waiting for me to send a label from Las Vegas. And I'm sure she's probably thankful that I haven't sent it yet, because she's been using it on her cat that she got from, I don't know, some kind of humane society or wherever she got it, a rescue cat, and has been having great success.
So how long do you let them use it? Did you say?
Well, Yeah, she's a good friend. So she's had that for 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks now. And, but she did text me and say, okay, it's probably time for me to buy. So, so that's what happens. So I never send anybody out with the Blue app. If you wanted to designate a specific device for a Healy resonance and have it available to the client, that's fine, but you're also sending the tablet and the Healy out the door. So that's
Right.
now $1,000, $500 expense, whatever you got it for, $300, whatever, plus
Yeah.
a $350 potential replacement cost on a Healy if it gets lost, stolen, damaged somehow. So I would, and what we do is we have everybody download the Pink app on their device, their phone, their tablet,
Mhm.
and then they scan that unit, and then they have access to use it. So what I would be doing with your 4 extra units is I would be putting them in people's hands, calling people and saying, hey, I have a unit. Would you like to experience this for a long weekend or a week? And then you call them back after the week is up and you go, I've got somebody else I need to put that in their hands. When can I get that from you?
Okay,
So,
and I've sold probably about 14 devices doing that already with my clientele. So
okay.
my question is, do I not worry about, again, some of these units are in my son's email addresses.
So if you want to do that, then I'm going to, let's see here.
And I don't want to take up any more time. You see, this is
Good.
something I wake up in
Nope.
the morning and I go, oh God, this is a nightmare. I've got to figure out.
Yeah, I think you just use the pink dot. Brad, did you have something to add to that?
I do. This Saturday, a couple of women are coming and they're a Hindu background. So they are all over the chakra. So I am going to be sending them away with the Blue app and teaching them how to run their aura from for the chakra.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And that's different if you've got somebody but if you're just introducing Healy for the first time or they're just curious about it, I wouldn't put him in front of both of them, but there are going to be exceptions, and you'll know who those people are that have I'm not going to say brain capacity because that sounds really horrible, but
I know what you mean.
the wherewithal to be able to
Mhm.
maneuver through the Blue app and its learning curve and the Pink app and its learning curve, and be able to do them conjointly and together in a small amount of time. Think about how much time all of us have put in the effort of Zoom calls to learn. And if you've got somebody that is just a friend that maybe doesn't know a whole bunch about Healy, or they don't have any experience with electroceuticals, that might be a little overwhelming. And we don't want them to be so overwhelmed that they don't buy.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so Brad, your person probably is a perfect fit to be able to do that, And some people, when they see the resonance, they're like, oh, I'm all in. What do I have to do to get this? Some people, that's the selling factor, is the ability to scan. But I'm, here I am in Greeley and I have a clinic and I have people walking in and they just come here because they're in pain and they want to use the Beamer or whatever. And I introduce them to something because they've got gut issues, and I put them on gastrointestinal and they go, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then I say, would you like to take one of these home for the weekend and see how you do with it? And then they're all over it. And so I would use those units definitely as a selling tool. So what I have, I'll show you.
I was going to ask you a question too. What are the odds if the first unit that I purchased, excuse me, was a resonance, even though it took, a couple months to actually get that version, what are the chances that my free unit is a resonance, or do you think the free unit was a holistic health like the other?
Well, if you've never purchased a Holistic Health Plus, if you haven't purchased one of those,
No.
and you take the one that's in the box and you download the Pink app and find out, upload it, make sure it's connected and find out what files it is. If you have all the files, it's your resonance. Now, we don't know if the Blue app at this point, if you're activated, because you know how some of those came out and they weren't activated. So that's always a question mark. But if you pull up all of the Pink Dot apps and you have all of them, then you'll know that that is your resonance. So here's my little checkout sheet. And I know you can't see it on here, but I have who it is. I have so I have a serial number, where it is in my state, country, where it is, when it went out and when it came back. And so
Gotcha.
I can tell you I can tell you the Las Vegas one when I sent it. I can tell you the one that's in Loveland. It came back already and it's already out with somebody else. So I literally have just this sheet that I just, I just did up name, loaner,
Nice.
serial number, and that's what I would do with yours is you just have your own little grid, your own little kind of checkout, check-in sheet. And then I have the serial number there. So I know when it comes back, I know which one it is. On the little, oh, I don't have it on the little sheet. I have a little sticker on the case of each one that tells me what it is. If it's Stevens Original Holistic Health, it says SBHH. Then I know that serial number is a Holistic Health. And then on one of my stickers on my ones, it says free HR. So I know that was my free, resonance. And so I know that that's going to have everything plus my digital nutrition on it. It's going to, everything that goes out to them is going to have that as well. So that's how I keep track of those. And again, I don't rent, I loan because I just want people to experience it. And then I just make sure I call them in a short period of time and go, hey, I've got somebody else that needs to be on that unit. When can I get it back from you?
Sounds good.
So, okay, so changing the names because people are going to want to know how to do this. Let me share my screen real quick. We'll go here. Okay, so here's your back office. You're going to come down here to the support center. And if you're just going to use, since they're your kids, if you're just going to use the device for them, you wouldn't even have to change ownership. Because if something were to happen with that unit and you needed a warranty or to call in you could get in their back office. Now, once if they're not gonna re-up when their year is up, you're gonna lose that back office, then we got to figure out how to transfer it. And this is what you do. So you'll go to that support center. Let's see how good my internet
Will I
is.
want it? Do I want to change their back office? Does it really matter? Can I just let it roll away? Or
yeah, except if you're going to let their business centers roll away, you want to make sure that you then do change the serial number to your back office, to your business center.
and that was a question. Is there an easy way to identify in their back offices what their serial number is to each Healy?
No, you'll never find the serial number in your back office.
That was one of my questions.
So right now you have a whole bunch of them and they're all in boxes next to each other and you don't know whose is whose. Is that accurate?
Pretty much.
Okay, so you're going to come here to your support center. Let me see if it'll actually click over here.
Let me get my
Keeps wanting to log me out. I'm really anxious for our new back office to come. I'm really hoping that people are putting in the effort. Okay, I'm just going to try this and see if it'll do it. I have my mom's permission to use her back office. That's my disclaimer for the night. Well,
I was thinking there's got to be a way to figure out the serial numbers with.
so the only, I don't know why this won't let me in. My caps are not on. The only way to really discern is through your, when you get your box. Okay, let me go back here. When you get your box and you have the packing slip in there, the packing slip will give you the order number from the back office. So if you still have the Healy in the box that came in and the packing slip is still in there, is that a possibility on your end?
I may have one, maybe one or two.
Okay, so if you have one or two, this is what you're going to do. Let me see if it'll take me to, I'm going to go to my shop and my orders. And if it'll, there we go. So here's the order number.
Okay, got it.
So this is my mom. She originally got the Holistic Health Plus and then upped to, she got the free resonance. But this is her original order number. That
Mhm.
order number will be on the packing slip in your box. And if it's still with that original Healy, then that is the serial number with that order number. So
I
if you
think I
can, yeah, if you have one or two of them that you know what they are, then you can, okay. So then when you want to change, oh my goodness. We may not be showing this tonight. For whatever reason, this link is not, my support is not. Nope. Okay, what you would do is you would go into my support and you would submit a ticket and you would say my product, and then you would click my Healy. I don't know yet if they have a transfer ownership yet. They probably will eventually. If they don't, I would put in the first drop-down menu, I'd put my product, and then put in the second one just Healy, and then you'll be able to put the serial number in to the box that's supplied for you. And then down below, you're going to put all your identifying information. So what our customer service department really wants are really easy things and simple. They
Mhm.
want your name, your username, your email, and your phone.
Mhm.
They want your sponsor name, if you can put that in, who your sponsor is. And then they want your issue. I need to transfer this Healy to my account, and then your username. And it's simple. We don't have to go into a really long story, about why or anything like that. They don't need to know that. If they open up a service ticket and there are 2 paragraphs of stuff, they might close it.
Right.
They might
What if-
close it for
yeah.
the day and pick that up later on, or have that after another cup of coffee. But if it's really simplified, and Tammy had said this on a call last night, she said, if they can open it up and see exactly what needs to happen, and they've got all the information there, boom, it's done. And they're handling tickets really fast that way. But we have a lot of, and I'm word fluff, I get it. So we have a lot of people who are word fluff about all of their stuff, and they want to tell why. And we don't need any of that. We just know
Gotcha.
this is what the issue is. This is the resolution. Here's my all of my identifying information, and then just let it go.
Well,
Hey,
who's
Maria.
back? Who's
Yeah.
back?
Maria,
Sorry.
can I say
Yeah.
something?
Sure. Hi,
Um,
Tommy.
I had that situation where somebody said, I want you to transfer this to my account, and they would not do it until they got an authorization from the primary person. So in this case, her son would have to
Yes.
say, yes, I give
And so
permission to this
in
or
the-
whatever.
That was my question. Yeah. Which
That's right. That's right, Tommy. In the very beginning, they said whoever is purchasing it, do it. And then I heard whoever is selling it or giving it away to do that. Now I'm hearing it should come from both. Since they don't have a specific form to fill out, that you're signing off to the fact that we're making a change in our back office. If you have both of them do it. So if you got into your son's, same identifying information. This is who I am. I am giving my unit to this username. Please transfer ownership of this serial number to this account. You go in, here's my identifying information. I am receiving from my son his Healy. Here's the serial number. Please transfer it to my account. Then they have both.
Thank
And
you,
the
that
reason-
completes it.
Yeah.
And the reason I
Thanks,
want to
Tommy.
the reason I want to do that is because rather than just letting it go, can you clarify that for me again?
Rather than just letting it go.
Meaning,
Their business center. Okay, yeah, because a Healy has, they say like a 5-year-ish lifespan. But if you have a business center set up for somebody and they are not anticipating of renewing their membership when it comes due for $49.95, their business center will no longer, it will cease to exist. And now you have a Healy that is part of that business center, and the identifying markers are there. So if your son was going to maintain his business center and work the Healy business, it wouldn't matter because that business center is going to stay up and active with that
Mhm.
Healy attached to it. And if you ever needed to, put in a warranty within that first, amount of time and say, hey, the Healy device, whatever happened to it, it happened. I need to get an RMA and get a replacement, then you would need that business center open and active.
Mm,
So if
okay.
they're not gonna keep their business centers because they don't want to do the Healy business and you just opened it up to get your free unit, which is great, everybody did that, then I would definitely go through the process of changing it, changing ownership.
Maria, can I ask a question about that? It's Noni.
Sure.
Couldn't you also have the person shift to being a customer? And also, could they not just pay the $59 or whatever it's going to be for the membership, and then they just
Absolutely.
they don't have to be active?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's just if it compresses out and you have a Healy that is designated to that. And then I am not sure, have you moved somebody from a customer to a client? Because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I think you have to have them involved at this point. Maybe with a new back office, you won't.
Yeah.
And the
I'm
other
hoping
thing,
the new back office brings some really, really cool
Yes.
things to us.
Yeah, like sensible things that you can accomplish. So,
Yeah.
the other thing is just to know, obviously, if she wants to put all 3 Healys in her account, then if she is using the residence on them, or if she's loaning out a residence, then that data is going to be synchronized
go
across
with
the
it.
cloud. So she should know that.
Yep. Go with it whenever.
What about
Yeah,
well, I have one key, since I already have one residence that has a master key. What about the upgrade that I did in November to one of my holistic healths? When I want to activate the blue dot to that device, am I going to be concerned about a second master key that I have to store in a different place with a different name?
Well, usually it's one master key per back office because your free unit ends up using the same master key. But then I have heard that there have been a secondary master key, and you can request a new one, a new master key. So it really, I mean, you're going to have to get into it to find out. If it's the same master key, it's going to ask you to import your master key, opposed to download your master. Would you like to, so those are the differences. Would you like to download your master key or import your master key? If it says import your master key, then it's already banking on that you have another device in your business center that has used a master key. Now you need to present it. But if it says download master key, then they have designated a new master key for that unit. So until you get into the Blue app and try that out, you're not going to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Maria,
Uh-huh.
within the master key, is there anywhere that indicates the serial number?
Within the master key.
Like either like in the
I'm
beginning or in the end? I mean,
I've never really looked at the master key to know. I've never really scanned
right.
all of those characters to find out if the master key is in there. That's a great question. Would you
I
like to
don't
do
think
that for us
so.
and let us know next week?
I might, I might be able to do like a search and find and see if it pops up somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, you guys, because it is associated with an account rather than a serial number.
Rather than
And
a
you can
serial
always
number.
you can always update your master key and get a new one. So it's not tied to a serial number, I don't believe.
Okay.
Interesting though.
Question,
cool if it was.
with regard, like business strategy,
Okay.
this is my first MLM, but
Okay.
let's say Joe, with her, all of, her different accounts that, one of her accounts that she wants to change or whatever. Let's say she's got 100, she's up in the organization and she's got 100,000 PVs on one of her legs.
Okay.
Would it make sense? I mean, is there a value to that to sell it to somebody to say, I have an existing business that, to buy into, and all they have to do is develop the other leg?
Absolutely. Especially before March 31st.
No, I
Okay.
actually have that situation. The first person I signed up on the one side of my leg, she's not interested at all. She never bought a machine. She just signed up early on when it was free back in April, May. So she is a friend up in British Columbia. She's given me her password, you know, and her login. She said at any time if I wanted somebody to step in to her position, she was totally fine with that. So I've been keeping that in the back of my mind. If I found someone that rather than putting them down on my left side or my, you know, I could put them up where Chris was not interested in being.
Okay, so look at the screen. This isn't a screen that's talking about that, but this is a perfect example. And actually, this is somewhere in my downline on my left leg. I think initially this was Gwen. So here we are. Okay, so I have several of these type of positions where they have this amazing, if you follow the red line, this amazing downline. And they have, you know, 90,000 points, 120,000 points, 200 and whatever thousand points, and they've done nothing on their right leg. Well, May 31st, all of those points on that person's left leg washes. And if they haven't done anything over here and they haven't paid their $49.95 when it comes due, this business center will be gone. So here you are, Brad, if you've got somebody, if you've got something similar to this and you've got this open space, absolutely you can sell that space to somebody, because whoever's holding this space for you, you would just need to go into that back office and you would, I mean, you'd have to get their permission, obviously, or have them do it, but that they're signing over their business center to a new person, and that new person's name is this is their information, everything. So, but do that soon. Don't wait till the middle of March to do that, because you're going to want to make sure that you're able to get into the service ticket. So you make sure that the customer service is able to get to your ticket prior to all of that washing.
So probably mid-February would be best.
Now would be best.
Okay, now, okay.
If you have somebody that in mind,
Tomorrow.
and you want to start negotiating and say, hey, I have this great spot. There are this many points on this. I've got 62,000 points on this left leg. All you have to do is build out the right, put somebody over here on the left to make yourself active on both legs. And you already have a business center.
And that's just, and you take 15% of that PV and that would be the amount.
Sure. You can sell it for whatever you can get it for. How creative can you be in your negotiation?
Exactly. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maria,
because the potential is
are you
there.
sure that's going to happen still? I mean, since they are going to make some comp plan changes, do we know
They
that
are going to
they're
make
still
comp plan change. Yeah, they are, but a lot of people haven't been on those calls. So I'm not really going into what could be, because I don't know what could be and I don't know what it's going to
Okay.
look like. I'm only going off of the scenarios that they've given us and they've really put
Right.
out to the world that this is going to happen, because to me, that's the worst case scenario, is all
Right.
those points wash. If they come
Yep.
back and say, no, we're going to allow them to be, fabulous. Or maybe they'll come in and say, if you have places like that, we will allow you to go in and adopt them. Whoa, that would be great. But I'm not going to talk about any of that because I don't know. So
Okay.
so I'm just kind of keeping it to what I do know, which is what they've told us is those points will wash. And that's why it's going to be really important for us to have our subscriptions so that our business center, is active. So this person needs to make sure that they have their subscriptions so that we don't have these points washing on them. Yeah, Lori.
Oh, thank you. Hey, when you loan out your Heelys, what do you tell them to use if they don't have a specific condition?
I usually tell them definitely the gold.
Okay,
Definitely the gold. And then I have them go off of symptoms. What symptoms are most prevalent for that person right now, and have them go off of that.
okay. What would you have them
it's
do in
Go
the
ahead.
gold? Sorry.
Yeah, I would start them there because that's where they want us to start anyway. Peer,
Right.
being, care.
So all of them?
Yeah, when I put it out with somebody, usually they've come in because they needed something. So for instance, the person that came in And I just put it on her. She had an hour to go do some shopping. And I said, just experience it for an hour, hooked it up, didn't even put it on her phone. I just put it on relax. I asked her, I said, do you want energy or do you want to relax? And she said, oh, I need to relax. I said, great. So we put the electrodes on her. We tucked it into her bra, had it on relax. She went off to the store, came back about 45 minutes later. And she said, okay, how do I get one of these? And I said, did you have a good experience? She said, this is amazing. See, I just put it on relax because she said that's what she needed because obviously she had busy brain. Well, I didn't realize that she has social anxiety with shopping. So here she went to the store thinking it was going to take her long because usually she's beeline in and out because she doesn't like all of this and she doesn't like being around all these people and just more of an introvert and a little bit of social anxiety. She was able to go to the store and be in the store and shop. And she said it was the most amazing thing to just be like, oh my gosh, I'm comfortable here, even in the midst of all of this. So she came back and bought a resonance for herself, and she bought 3 holistic healths while they were on sale for her kids with different business centers. We set her up so she could get her free. So that was a 45-minute here loaner to put it in her hands. So that was, I just asked, do you need more energy or do you need to relax? And she told me. But I've had people sit in the chair and say, oh, my gut hurts. So then I'm going to do gastrointestinal. Don't do intestines because that's going to spark up and you might get, unless they're constipated, and then, that might be super helpful. But gastrointestinal and the bioenergetic balance is very calming to the whole system. So I would just find out what they need and have them start there, but then definitely do a gold program. Also, when you're sending it out with people, what you might want to consider is telling them, why don't you do the 2 or 3 hour rule, do a program, and then wait 2 to 3 hours before you do anything else and see how you feel, see how you respond, see if there's any negatives that come up. And if there are, you're putting in their head that the negatives are because they're dehydrated. They're maybe eating the wrong foods. They're stressed, whatever. It's not because the Healy did it. It's because their lifestyle is, they need to change it. So I always pretty much pitch, minerals and dehydration, lack of minerals and dehydration as being the cause for a lot of the healing crises that we have. But I really haven't had anybody come back and go, oh, I felt horrible. Everybody's felt great.
Right.
I had a gal who came in and she was with her mom. Her mom was borrowing the Healy for a week. The daughter came, she was 23, severe menstrual cramps, didn't even want to get out of the car. When I met her, she was holding back tears. I didn't know that. She was a really good actress. But then her mom said, yeah, she's really dealing with a lot of menstrual cramps. I said, oh, well, let's put it on menstruation. That for 5-10 minutes did nothing. And then I went to hormones. And within about 10 minutes, she was noticing a huge difference. And by the time they left, because I was teaching her mom how to use the pink dot, and I was letting her run hormones on my Healy. By the time they left, she was 100% completely out of pain. And her mom was like, you're sold on this, aren't you? And she said, absolutely. So again, we just went off of symptoms. I didn't scan her. I didn't put her in the gold. I just went off, what are your symptoms right now? So that's going to change with every single person. You're just going to have to sort of discern that as you move
Right.
through.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so since I'm in this building business with binary, is there anybody that needs information on business building or ATP? Feel free
Me.
to jump in.
Me.
Hi, Ron, what do you need?
A question.
Okay.
I have a Phantom that I purchased, that I put in my on my right leg way back when to just have that leverage of being able to sell a position.
Okay.
And then of course I have a family member or two, a family member that I could do the same with. But do they have to have activity other than the 50 points a month to keep them going? If all I have to do is re-up the $49, correct?
Yeah, what I understand from what they've told us so far is that if you have your PV that keeps your business center active, so for most people that's 50 PV, If
Mhm.
you have that, your points will stay, even if you're not actively working the business.
But even if there's never been a device sold on that Phantom person, the name,
So
account,
you would need to have a subscription on that business center, and the subscription would have to be attached to a Healy.
okay,
So if that needs to happen where you transfer one of your devices to that business center, you
Hmm.
could do that, but don't wait. Do that really quickly. Transfer ownership of that device to that business center, and then get yourself set up on subscriptions with that business center. And then that space can stay active.
okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes good sense. I can do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I would just have those two authorizations, mine
Yep.
and the other person.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that should be no problem.
Okay. Yeah, and they're handling those tickets pretty quickly. So,
All right, thank you.
okay. And I don't know if Libby is on the call this time. Libby was on the call last time. It was really awesome because she was brand new. And she was wanting to know about, business building and how to do that. So unless somebody else has another question, just pipe up if you do. Laura, you have your hand raised again. Did you need to have a question?
I didn't realize I did that. I'll put it down, but I do have a quick question. Is it the end
Sure.
of March that we have to have PV or the 1st of March?
What I heard was the end of March.
Okay, thank you. That's what
I'm
I thought.
hoping I heard it right.
Thanks.
I thought it was the end of January. So when I heard March, I was like, woo, but I
Yeah.
think it's the end of March. Okay, so the biggest thing about business building with the binary, if you're unfamiliar with the binary, is really you just need to have an active business center on each leg. And then your own business center has to have a certain amount of PV to keep you active. So how they're doing that now is through subscriptions. So instead of with other multi-level marketing companies, you'd have to buy their product. So you'd buy, your bottle of stuff every month, and that's what you would take, and it would keep your business center active. Well, Healy is using subscriptions. And so I know that they're working on different changes. I think there's some cool changes coming down the pike. I think from what I've heard, there's cool changes coming in that we're going to be all glad that we're grandfathered in, because some of the changes are just going to be different, and we're going to love that we have what we have. But as far as the business building, I don't think that's not going to change. They're going to require your business center have PV attached to it, either through your self-purchasing subscriptions, or that you have enough customers that have come in and they are purchasing subscriptions. So the PV from those count for you. I am not secure yet, and I've never put a person in as a customer yet. I haven't done it because those lines always haven't been 100% secure, and it's always been free to sign up as a member. So my thought process is, well, if you sign up and you don't want to do anything, and a year's gone by, then great. You just let it fall off and you don't have to worry about it. But if all of a sudden you notice that one of your legs is really starting to grow by leaps and bounds by nothing you've done, then you may want to jump in and become active. So I've always kind of pitched that. We can still pitch that until they start forcing us to, purchase our subscription or our membership with Healy. So I'm still going to pitch that because I feel like there's a lot of people that got in and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for putting me in as a business center, because I just made $500 off of a sale that I wouldn't have gotten that had I not done that. So, but I now took myself off video. I have a question, but now that I have this is Christina. Did you have a question? Maybe she's not even here. She might have jumped off.
Here I am.
Oh, hi there.
Hi. Yesterday, I was on a call today, the corporate call,
Mhm.
and they had announced that they're never going to put Healy on sale again. Do you think that's true?
Does my
Because I
face say it?
I forget who said it because it was one of the first times
Yeah.
I've heard it.
So they are gonna make some changes. They're gonna, and I don't even really know what the changes are. I do know that there's changes coming. But I think that they probably will have a sale again before they do all that, or in combination with what they're doing. So, yeah,
That-
I,
I was
Maria?
shocked to hear that. So
Mhm.
That announcement came from Doc Steve, Maria. So
Yeah,
they said they
I
won't.
heard.
Yeah. Oh, you heard
Yeah.
it too. Yeah.
I heard it.
It
Yeah.
sounds like there'd be a promo with the launches, but I don't know, like if they launched Canada and Mexico, if it would also be a promo in the US or not.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to say things that I'm not supposed to. So we're going to leave it at that. But if they're
Okay.
going to do something, I think they would probably put a promo in for all of us prior to. I would recommend that every single person be on the Friday call. That's what I'm going to say to that. Be on the Friday call because there will be some announcements that will be made. So, and you're going to love it.
Thank you.
I have one more question.
Okay.
When Gwen was showing us how you can fill in the fields, I don't know how you go back and run the same thing for yourself. Like
You don't-
I successfully added in a field, but then when I go to that person's name and run it, it's gone. How do I find it?
So at the bottom of your screen, you'll go to the little house icon and you will click on client and you'll find the client, open it up. And then at the top right, there will be the three little hamburger lines. They call it a hamburger, 3 little lines, horizontal lines. Click on that. And then click where it says show lists. And then you'll be able to determine what it was by the date. If it was an Aura scan and that's what you changed it in, it will be pink opposed to that gray blue. And then you should be able to open that back up and run it again.
So it will be pink as opposed to gray blue.
Yeah, they're a little bit different color, but pink will be. And
Did
so
I-
what you might, what's
did I-
that?
Did I lose what I put in today then?
No, you shouldn't have lost anything from what you put in.
Okay, because I didn't do the house icon or any kind of save or.
Yeah, it's already saved in the lists. So what I would do is just go in the way I told you and then look for that one. And when you find it, you might want to rename it. And how you do that is you swipe very gently from the right-hand side of the screen towards the left. As you slowly swipe slowly from the right to the left, not from the right to the left, from the right to the left, it'll unveil where it says either delete or rename, and you can click rename, and then you can type in, delete what's there and type in what you need to save. Like I have Maria's Prosperity in one of my scans that's saved. So I can just go in for me as a client, show lists. I scroll all the way to the bottom where the pink one is and it says Maria's Prosperity. I click it and then I can vibrate it to myself again.
So does that create a new client then?
Nope.
Like, no?
Nope.
It's just
No.
under that name. Okay.
Yeah, the only way you can do a scan in the Blue app is if you already have selected a client.
I did.
Yep. So if you need to find that scan, then you
Yep.
need to go find her as a client. Click on the 3 little lines at the top, the little horizontal lines. I didn't call in with my phone and I don't have time to do that now or else I would show you. But we can maybe tomorrow, not tomorrow, next
opposed to
Tuesday.
As opposed to the bottom of the screen with the house, you'd go to the client and.
Okay, so here's your steps. Go to the house,
Okay,
choose clients,
yes,
pick your client.
right.
Okay, now you're into there where you can edit them, right? You see their picture and you have all their identifying information. At the very top right of the screen are 3 horizontal lines. There might be 4, 3 horizontal lines. Click those lines.
Mhm.
It'll bring up a new pop-up and you're going to click show lists.
Okay,
Click on that and it'll bring up everything you've run on that particular client. Now you can look for the date. If it was an Aura scan and you edited something in it, it's going to be in the pink. It's going to be a pink tab.
Okay, thank you.
If you have lost it and it's not there, it's possible that you don't have that client synced with the cloud. You need to go back into their client list, scroll to the bottom and click the little check mark that says synchronize with the cloud.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so try that. We can always go over that again next Tuesday as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions? I've got about 8 minutes or so left before I got to jump off, 10 minutes before I got to jump off. Is there anybody that wants to know anything about ATP or finding something there? Okay.
I have one more question, and I've
Okay.
been waiting to ask this. Last week, I think it was, and I was looking for the location. I have the 2 clients that are going to borrow a Healy from me.
Okay.
And we went through some steps where it was like building new relationships. It was an intro to a video. It was the real new people, not people that have machines already.
Okay.
And I looked around ATP, I couldn't find it. I looked in the back office. I
Are
couldn't
you-
find it.
Okay. Are you looking for like scripts like that?
Yes, I think it was like a script. It was like a
Okay.
script. And I wasn't sure whether it was ATP or the back office, but
So here you are on atp123.com, and then you're going to go to your business, click on your business. And then of the buttons, you're going to click on marketing strategies.
marketing strategies. Okay.
And then here, you're going to go down in with the first one, email and text scripts.
That's
then you
it.
can-
That's it.
And then you can just copy and paste this into an email.
Yay. Thank you. I just,
Now, I have not gone through when we did this. It was not last week, it was somewhere else. Someone said that some of these videos are not accurate anymore. So go
Okay.
to the videos, go to the
Yeah.
Vimeo and make sure that these links are, like I said, I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to get back in here and really start to dive in because there have been some great changes that we need to make on this website and I haven't done it yet. So make sure that you go to these first and see if they're in English and if they still are valid and valuable. And there
Thank you.
might be others that are better. So just use this as a channel to get to the YouTube where you can look at Healy videos, or go to Vimeo and you can look through Vimeo and see if you can find some new emails. But there's several that are listed here. So you should be able to find something. There's a couple of them that are the same, but you should be able to find something.
We so appreciate this website, by the way. It's like,
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, there's so much information out there and there's even more. I feel stepping back in, I'll feel overwhelmed trying to go, okay, now I got to incorporate this. And Ron just sent me a really good thing on the DNA app yesterday. And so I've got a lot of work to do on the subscriptions and stuff like that, but we'll get it there.
Yeah.
We'll get it there. Okay, anybody else since I'm in ATP? Is there any other questions here? Is there anybody that's on the call that has not been on ATP before? I'm seeing something in the chat. Thank you. That should be 11. Oh, 11. Christina's 11 her time. Okay. I don't see anything in the chat. Okay, so what other questions then? In the few minutes that we have remaining, are there any other questions that people need help with?
Yeah, I have a question on the watch functionality.
Okay.
So I was noticing that sometimes my sleep recording isn't showing up on my app, and it was showing up once in a while, and then it wasn't showing up at all for the longest time. And then now I've noticed that it'll show up, but days later. And so I was trying to figure out, so I turn off my phone, you know, tried all those kind of things. And then sometimes I get the message that this network won't work.
Right.
And that it's taking all the BRA information, et cetera. And then today I tried it on some different devices. And on one device, I could get some sleep information, or I could record a BRA, and on another device, I couldn't. So I just wondered if you have some insights on those connections.
Okay, so have you tried hitting the little sync button, the little sync circles? Okay, and that hasn't worked. Okay, so this is where I'm going to call Ron in, because Ron had some really, He's smiling. Ron had some really interesting things going on with his watch. And Ron, why don't you tell him what you did to rectify that?
Okay, exactly what she was telling us has already happened. I hate to be bearer of bad news, but it just gets worse. I actually have nothing left except time and steps on my watch now. I have uploaded all the current, I guess, what was that called? Upgrades.
So you uninstalled yourself and reinstalled yourself, right? You completely
Right,
took
and
it off your device
and it worked for a day. And
for a
then
day.
then everything went again. Now everything is gone. I mean, my grandson's Mickey Mouse watch does more than my Healy.
Oh, that's sad.
And
Well, I know they're working on fixing it, so that's the good
I
news.
have the
But
same issue
meanwhile,
too. I reloaded mine yesterday again. I was able to run a BRA. I didn't get last night's sleep, but I got the night before and the night before that. So, but the night before that, you know, it was only 4 out of my 8 hours that it reported. So I'm not, you know, and only 25 minutes of deep sleep, which doesn't make sense.
Wow. Well, I am only using my watch right now just for a diagnostic tool. I have chosen not to wear it because I figured out that because it scans every hour, it keeps me up.
Wow.
And so I stopped wearing it and all of a sudden started sleeping well again. So I think just that little bit of agitation or energy in my field, information field, was just enough to pull me up out of sleep. So I am not wearing it that way anymore. Once a week, in the morning, I try to not eat any inflammatory foods the night before. And so even if Steve cooks and it's inflammatory, I won't eat it. No, I always eat it. I wait for the next day. But I'll try to not eat any inflammatory foods before I go to bed. And then the next morning, before I drink anything or eat anything and really start moving around a lot, I put the watch on and then I do the 7.5 minute heart rate variability test. So what that does is that gives me a week of programs based on what I had happen, probably in my most relaxed state, which I always have high tension and rigidity, which just doesn't surprise me, but that's where I'm at. So it's registering all of that at my most relaxed state without any allergenic or intolerance or sensitivity things happening in my system. And so that's kind of how I'm using it as a diagnostic tool, opposed to wearing it all day. Plus I was getting a little obsessive about my steps and I sit in front of the computer too much and I was beating myself up. So
Maria.
I do not wear it like that anymore. Use it just as a diagnostic tool. So I don't have the same issues because I'm not trying to use it as a glorified Fitbit. I'm
Okay.
really just using it as a diagnostic tool.
So Maria, then does your diagnostics change? Do your programs change for your schedule? They might have
Sometimes,
never changed from day one.
yeah, a lot of the rigidity stuff is exactly the same. The tension is the same, but I'll have different things like hormones will show, you know, whereas maybe heart meridian would show, you know, so I've got some variances there. But I remember you saying that nothing changed. Angela said maybe try letting the battery run entirely out. My Polar watch did, and I let it completely die. So
I do all the time.
okay.
Yeah. I've submitted a help desk ticket on January 14th and it's still open. So
Okay.
I'll send it to you. I'll wait, you know, what'd you say, 30 days and then you can escalate?
And that was about the watch.
Right.
And that was about the watch. Yeah, I'd give it another week, 4 days to a week, and see where you're at on that. I mean, we have to recognize that we have an entire world that everybody's home and everybody's on their devices, and we don't have platforms to support everybody. we just don't. So we have to just sort of recognize that all of us are in a place of there's a lot more going on with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth than ever before, and it's going to mess up with devices. That's when the device counts on that. You know, there's going to be some issues. I personally stopped using the watch just because it wouldn't let me sleep. So that was, I wasn't getting any REM. I was like, and then when I stopped wearing it, because I just did that for a try, I'm going to try it, I'll stop wearing it. So I won't go back to wearing it like, like you guys want to wear your watch. So I wouldn't even know if it was having those issues, but I have a feeling or suspect that probably I would be having those issues if I was running it still consistently.
Maria, I can't tell if anybody else is on or has their hand up or anything because all I see is you. But if I needed some more help with placement and things that need to be changed before March, or actually before February, can I contact you and I can send you my binary photos and stuff like that to discuss it on Maria Gwen 2020?
Yeah, or we can set up an individual Zoom where I can just get into your back office and we can just go through where to put people and what it looks like.
And
Okay.
maybe we could do a 3-way. I could be on it as well.
Okay, yeah. That would work.
Yeah, we would both be there to do it together.
Okay.
And I would be honored to pay you for those kind of services, Maria. So seriously, just to get peace of mind and know that everything is kind of put aside and I can look forward in my life and that stuff's okay. Because I am going to get a subscription. I do want to move forward with this. I think this is going to be a wonderful tool for many, many people. I do.
I agree.
A dark cloud chasing me around. It makes me crazy.
Well, and yeah, and it's, it's the startup thing and they're not established and they didn't go with Amazon, which I'm thankful they didn't. So they're having to work around. I mean, there's a lot of things that they did in foresight that I think they either did know or they did because of their gut reaction. And now all of a sudden they recognize that we're just really big and bigger than they were anticipating. So it's all going to be good. But yeah, we can definitely do, those. We could even put together a, working in the back office and, it'd be hard to do it with a lot of people on, especially if we're like in Ron's back office, you wouldn't want to show,
but I think to honor you, I want you to really consider that in order to those of us that really want to move ahead, to maybe set up a little package where you're willing to, I'm going to hold your hand, but we need to honor you and pay you.
Well, that's sweet.
It's not sweet.
I get paid by all of your business.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. I appreciate that.
Peace of mind is very valuable.
For that. But yeah, if we can use these Wednesdays too to just really get into the back office and talk so that the rules are really simple. You place one person on each leg to get started and you put 3 people on your team leg. And then you tell everybody to do the same thing. And it's really simple that way. But when you have 5 people signing up at the same time, then it goes, oh my gosh, I don't know where to put these people. And it's not, but I've talked to people over the phone doing that too. Say, we go through each person and what they have to contribute and where they're at in their world based on what and then we decide where to put them. So I'm always, I'm not always available, but I am always willing to find a time to help people do that. Because I think it's important, especially when you understand it, you're going to be able to transfer that knowledge down to your base. And then I'm out of the picture. If I can help you guys understand that more, then it takes me out. So, okay. So I'm going to have to go, but this is the one thing I'm going to leave with you. If you have somebody that's ready to buy right now, do not let them buy until you listen to Friday. Okay. So just do that. I'm just gonna say that and leave the call here. That if you have somebody that's ready to buy, tell them to wait until you listen to the Frequency Friday call.
So my guy's coming on Saturday morning, so it's perfect timing.
Woohoo! Yeah. So you'll have all the information you need.
Perfect.
And if you don't know where that's at, go in the Telegram group and go to the Healy corporate and get the information. I don't have it listed here on ATP123. You can email us at gwenandmaria2020@gmail.com. Gwen and Maria 2020, all spelled out, no dots, no dashes, no underscores. Gwen and Maria 2020@gmail.com. And if you need that information on how to get on that call, I can send you the link. So, okay, well, I'm gonna let you all go and we'll see you again next week. Just if you have, just mark down things, questions that you have. Because it's nice to have somebody take us on a path down somewhere, and then we always find some nice rabbits along the way. So anyway, love you all. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Maria.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Maria.
Bye-bye now.